Hey guys, how are you all? So friends, in this video we are going to talk about the speaker, the deputy speaker and the speaker pro tem of the Lok Sabha. Now first, I will try to cover all the points regarding all of these, constitutional authorities like speaker, deputy speaker and speaker pro tem in as less time as possible. So first of all, we will start with Speaker of Lok Sabha. Speaker of Lok Sabha, we all know, is the presiding officer of Lok Sabha. He is elected by the members of Lok Sabha from amongst themselves. Somewhere after the new Lok Sabha first meeting occurs. Lok Sabha Speaker under normal circumstances remains the Speaker as far as he is the member of the Lok Sabha, and if he is not a member of the Lok Sabha, if he loses his seat as a member of the Lok Sabha, then he also loses his seat as a speaker. If the Lok Sabha speaker wants to resign, then he will have to address his resignation to the deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha. And if the Lok Sabha wants to remove the speaker from his position, then a resolution has to be passed in the Lok Sabha by a majority of all the members of the Lok Sabha after giving a 14 days advance notice to the speaker. Okay, he will be also allowed to put his point before his resolution for removal is being passed. When a resolution for the removal of the speaker from Lok Sabha is in approval or is under consideration, then during this time speaker will not handle his duties of presiding the office as the head of the house. When a resolution for the removal of the speaker is under consideration, then the speaker will act as a normal member of the house. So he can also take proceedings in the house, he can sit in the house, he can speak in the house, and he can vote in the first instance. Now what is this first instance? When the Lok Sabha speaker acts as a speaker, that is, he is presiding the house, then obviously he is not going to vote in the first instance. Then when he will vote, for example, on a particular bill, voting occurs in the Lok Sabha and 250 people are in favor of that vote and 250 people are against that vote. So it is a tie. So in the case of a tie, the speaker can cast a casting vote. Okay. But when a speaker is not acting as the presiding officer, then obviously he is acting as a normal member of the house, and in that circumstance, speaker can vote in the first instance. That means that if at that time some bill is taken up in the house, then speaker can put his vote. So obviously when the speaker is acting as the presiding officer, then he can vote only in the case of a tie. But when a resolution for his removal is under consideration and he is not the presiding officer, then he can vote in the first instance. Now, the office of Lok Sabha speaker also becomes important by looking at the fact that when the Lok Sabha gets dissolved, the speaker still remains in his position until the new Lok Sabha is formed. Okay, this is one more important point, friends. Now we are going to talk about the autonomy, the power of the Lok Sabha speaker and his responsibilities. The speaker is the head of the Lok Sabha and it's also its representative, because obviously Lok Sabha, the speaker is a Lok Sabha member. He is also the guardian of powers and privileges of the member of the house as a whole and its committees. He is the principal spokesman of the house and his decisions in all parliamentary matters is final. And that's why speaker has very privileged position in the Lok Sabha. Speaker is not just a member, speaker is not just a presiding officer, he has a lot of the powers. These all powers we are going to see subsequently, and that is why the speaker of the Lok Sabha is vested with vast, varied and vital responsibilities, and he enjoys great honor. He is at the 7th position in the table of precedence, equivalent to the Chief Justice of India, above the cabinet ministers. Now, source of power of the Lok Sabha speaker. The first source of power of the Lok Sabha speaker is the Constitution of India. The second source of power is rules of procedure and conduct of business in the Lok Sabha. And third is the Parliamentary Conventions. Parliamentary Conventions basically originate from the United Kingdom and many other parliamentary, you can say the conventions are being developed from time to time. Basically, they are said to be developed from the United Kingdom because United Kingdom was the first to propound the parliamentary concept. So parliamentary conventions are also a source of power for the Lok Sabha speaker. Now we are going to talk about the autonomy of Lok Sabha speaker. He has been provided security of tenure, obviously, and the resolution for the removal of the speaker has to be passed by absolute majority. Absolute majority means that, for example, 550 members are there, then obviously 550 divided by 2, that is 275 plus 1, that is at least 276 members should vote for his removal, more than 50% majority. Okay. And if a resolution, if a removal motion for a Lok Sabha speaker is to be initiated, then that removal motion should be supported by at least 50 members of the Lok Sabha. Then only a removal motion can be initiated. Also, the remuneration, that is salary and allowances of a Lok Sabha speaker, are non-plan expenditure. Non-plan expenditure means that they are fixed and they cannot be planned, they cannot be voted upon. They are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. Charged on the Consolidated Fund of India means that they will be directly taken from the Consolidated Fund of India, and parliamentary members cannot vote to reduce the salary or to remove the salary or to reduce his allowances. Charged means they are fixed, and when they are fixed, they will be given to him at any cost, until and unless he is the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. And the power of the Speaker to regulate and control the proceedings and business of the Lok Sabha is not subject to the jurisdiction of any court. So any court does not interfere in the functioning of a Lok Sabha speaker. In Britain, when the speaker to their parliament is elected, that particular speaker has to resign from the political party after being elected to that office, because speaker has to be should be very much neutral in his approach of handling the house. However, no such conditions exist in India. In India, whenever a speaker is elected, he remains the member of that particular party. He doesn't have to resign from that particular party. Now we are going to see the functions and responsibility of the Lok Sabha speaker. He maintains order and decorum in the house so that the business and proceedings can be carried on efficiently, properly. Where adjournment of the house is done by the speaker. I will in a separate video discuss what adjournment is. Okay, the meeting of the house is suspended by the speaker in the absence of a quorum. Quorum, if 10% of the capacity of the Lok Sabha is not present, then obviously speaker will suspend the meeting of the house. The speaker has the power of casting vote in the event of a deadlock. This I have already discussed with you. Joint sittings of the both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha are summoned by the President of India, but it is presided over by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Now we all know about joint sittings. I will tell you again if you don't know. Joint sitting happen in the case of ordinary bills, friends. There are three types of bill: ordinary bill, money bill, finance bill. Constitutional bills are also there. So ordinary bill are not money bill, they are not constitutional bills. So on this joint sitting of the parliament can only occur in the case of a ordinary bill. And joint sitting is being called for by the President of India, but when a joint sitting takes place, it is presided over by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Okay, now speaker can bar the presence of restrict the presence of strangers in the chambers, lobby and gallery of the house if a secret sitting is being requested from the leader of the house. Okay, now there is one more thing, that there is an anti-defection law, that is the 10th schedule of the constitution. So speaker has the power to decide on the disqualification of members in accordance with this 10th schedule and anti-defection law. So speaker has the power to consider and to remove a member of parliament that he has violated the 10th schedule or he has violated the anti-defection law. So obviously speaker has the power to decide the disqualification of member under this law. Speaker also decides whether a bill is a money bill or not. For example, when a bill after being considered from the Lok Sabha goes to the Raj Sabha, speaker certifies that whether that bill is a money bill or it is a normal bill. By default, speaker is the chairman of three committees: Business Advisory Committee, Rules Committee, General Purpose Committee. These committees I will discuss in a separate video. Speaker also appoints the chairman of all parliamentary committees. So this was the important points about the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, friends. Now we are going to talk about the Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Okay. Now the office of this Speaker and Deputy Speaker originated as the office of President and Deputy President under the provisions of the Government of India Act of 1919. And obviously this this nomenclature of President and Deputy President was used till 1947. After 1947, it was changed to Speaker and Deputy Speaker. It came through the Government of India Act 1919, that is the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. Now, Speaker and Deputy Speaker, they are both the members of the Lok Sabha only, friends. So they do not have to subscribe to any special oath or affirmation. They will take the normal oath or affirmation that a normal member of parliament takes. The process of the removal of Deputy Speaker is similar to that of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. He will address his resignation to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha in case he himself wants to resign from the Deputy Speaker position. Deputy Speaker performs the functions of the Speaker when the Speaker is not present in the sitting of a house. Obviously, this is his purpose. When the Speaker is present, Deputy Speaker acts as any other normal member of the house. Okay. One special privilege that deputy speaker has, that if he is a member of any of the parliamentary committee, he automatically becomes the chairman of that parliamentary committee. The salaries and allowances of the deputy speaker are charged on the consolidated fund of India. That is the same thing, that they cannot be reduced to his disadvantage. Okay, and deputy speaker is not subordinate to the speaker. Obviously, deputy speaker is not directly responsible to the speaker, he is directly responsible to the Lok Sabha. So these are the important points about deputy speaker, friends. Now we are going to talk about speaker pro tem. Now, under the provisions of the constitution, I told you initially in the speaker that speaker does not leave his office after the dissolving of Lok Sabha, and that the old speaker remains in office until and unless just before the first meeting of the newly elected Lok Sabha takes place. That is, the convention of the provisions of the constitution say that, for example, old Lok Sabha has dissolved but the speaker is remaining. Now new Lok Sabha has formed and the newly elected Lok Sabha first meeting is going to take place. So just before that first meeting, the old speaker is going to vacate his position. Okay, now when the old speaker has vacated his position, president usually appoints the senior most member of the newly elected Lok Sabha as the speaker pro tem. It is a temporary measure. What speaker pro tem does, first of all, the oath to the speaker pro tem is administered by the president himself. The responsibility of the speaker pro tem is to administer to the oath to all the members of the newly elected Lok Sabha, and the speaker pro tem also assists in the election of the new speaker of the Lok Sabha. Okay, and as soon as the new speaker of the Lok Sabha has been elected, the office of speaker pro tem ceases to exist, as it was a temporary arrangement. So these in detail, in as brief as possible, I have covered speaker, deputy speaker as speaker pro tem, friends. If you have any doubt with respect to this video and this topic, please ask me in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video, friends. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day.